Thank you, Dina. If you are still deciding what to make for Christmas Eve or the day of, we have a comforting holiday meal idea just for you. And you can, by the way, make a tasty beef pot roast.
I need ideas. I'm so glad we're sending it over now to Jennifer Burns in the kitchen for this sponsored recipe.
Thank you so much. Jennifer Burns in studio, and I bet you are thinking about what you are going to be putting on your table for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Well, I've got a great idea for you. It's very homey. It's very delicious. It makes your whole house smell so good, and it's a beautiful presentation on your table. We are making a beef roast with potatoes and carrots and onions, and if you've made this before, you know how delicious it is. And when you cook that beef properly, which I'm going to talk to you about, it just melts. I mean, you don't even need to cut it. So here it is right over here in my pan. Let's talk about how to make this delicious roast. Use any kind of a cut. This is a chuck roast that I'm using. The first thing you want to do is brown that chuck roast. So you're going to put it, I have this same pan that I browned it in, some oil in there, season well with salt and pepper, sear it on each side, maybe 3 to 4 minutes where it's got that caramelization in there. Then you're going to add in some beef broth. As you can see right here, I just put it in a low sodium. You can always add more salt or pepper if you like. Then I added in carrots, onions, and some potatoes in there. Just so good. You could also make this in your crock pot as well, but even if you make a roast in your crock pot, it really is important to sear it on the stovetop beforehand to get all of that goodness into it, all that good flavor. Here it is. Oh, look at that. It just screams homey. All right, I'm going to put it over here on our platter. Absolutely beautiful roast. I mean, tell me that your guest and your family would not be impressed in serving something like this. I'm going to put the carrots and the onions just on the side here. Now, I also put on this recipe that you can also find at utahbeef.org. I added in a gravy because you can make the gravy from the juices in your pot. Just simply with a roux. Of course, you're going to use some butter. You're going to use some flour in there. You're going to season well with salt and pepper, and then for a beef gravy, I just added in, you can either use the beef broth or the juice from cooking up the delicious roast. Look how good that looks. I love it. Those carrots have that pop of color, deliciousness. Okay, now right over here, I'll just show you. I'm going to move this off to the side. We've still got lots of the juices in there, but I've used some of that to make this delicious gravy. Now, I just like to put it on the side. People can add it with your delicious sides or not add it. Maybe a little bit of parsley for that pop of color over the top. But then I just took this gravy that I made, and I'm just going to put it into a container. I'm going to serve it on the side and let people decide if they want to add that or not. Make sure that you go to utahbeef.org for more information, and I hope you try this one for your Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Jen. That looks so good. And thank you to the Utah Beef Council for sponsoring that recipe.